Every game we pick up and play has been through countless iterations. We typically only see the most polished versions, but when we fall in love with a game and we cherish the experience we had while playing, oftentimes we want to know more about the game as a whole. So, when people find new discoveries in a game that show us something we didn't know, it's incredibly interesting to us, especially if it's a never-before-completed challenge. And Super Mario Galaxy, just like many other games out there, has a lot of cool things to share. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a cosmic race that used to exist within the game, but was scrapped before the game came out. And it just so happens to be from one of my favorite levels in the game. I hope you enjoyed this nostalgia trip. Space Junk Galaxy is full of lots of things drifting through space. And I swear, if I was there myself, I'd certainly lose my wallet. But even in the solitude of space, I'd still be able to find my extra wallet. Over the past year, I thought I lost my wallet in a gas station, and many times I've lost it in my home. But an extra smart wallet would have made my life a lot easier and less worrisome. Not only are their premium leather designs super sleek and comfortable, but they are trackable. Simply ring your tracker from your phone and you know exactly where your wallet is. And the best part? They're solar powered. So if you drop your wallet outside, the tracker will stay powered through sunlight so you can find it. They're RFID protected, so your identity is safe from skimmers, and they are less of a burden than a traditional wallet. Extra is running a Black Friday sale with up to 40% off site-wide. So if you want to upgrade your wallet, click my link in the description below right now. And a huge thanks to Extra for sponsoring this video and helping me not lose my wallet again. Okay, let's set the stage for this missing foot race. Super Mario Galaxy has 4 Cosmic Comet missions in the game. When a Cosmic Comet approaches a galaxy, a mission will become available in which you race Cosmic Mario. If you reach the star first, you win. And if you don't, Mario becomes full of existential dread as his reality collapses. So make sure you win. Despite there being tons of levels in this game, the only 4 that got Cosmic Comet appearances were Honeyhive Galaxy, Freezeflame Galaxy, Gold Leaf Galaxy, and Sea Slide Galaxy. But within the files of the game remain an unused race that once took place within Space Junk Galaxy. A 5th race that we never got to experience. And honestly, it's really fitting that this existential space dump of a level is the one that has a secret unused race. The level is full of discarded junk from the past, and all of it is drifting in the silence of space. Very appropriate for a discarded race if you ask me. Now, this discovery was made quite a while ago. When tracing it back to its roots, it was publicly logged online in November of 2010 on the cutting room floor. I was hoping to get the actual date, so I reached out to Peardian, the contributor who originally updated the page noting that it was an old discovery. That's when I found out the original discovery was first reported back on August 7th, 2010 on a separate forum, as Peardian was the one who originally found it. Despite this finding, it wasn't until half a decade later when the data for this race was used to build back what used to exist. Super Mario Galaxy enthusiast and modder Aurum was the one who eventually took up the charge to bring this back to life though. You may have seen some of Aurum's videos on YouTube or even played some of his mods. At the time, he saw this particular race data logged on the cutting room floor, and because there was no footage of this race available, he decided to take up the charge for recreating it. The file that all of this is derived from is Ghost Data Stardust Galaxy. Aurum explained the following when I asked him about it. Quote, "The restoration process started at least before February 2015 when I tried to look for any leftovers in the galaxy's actual stage data. However, I wasn't able to find any leftover object setups or camera controllers. This led me to documenting parts of the Cosmic Race setup to load into the game. This was done by looking at other galaxies to see what objects are required and how they are connected. I only added the necessary data to make the game loaded again. I basically had to recreate it step by step. I discovered that the race was clearly based on the route from Star 1, Pulsar Path. So I decided to replace the Speedy Comet since it was an edited version of Star 1. While playtesting this, I also noticed that Cosmic Mario leaves the planet with the 5-star chips much faster since he did not go for the chips to unlock the launch star. This means that the scrapped Comet had those star chips removed so that the launch star is already there. Right before the part where the player would normally rescue the Toads, Cosmic Mario stopped after jumping into the air. So the Cosmic Race ended on the T-shaped planet, right below where the star shroom would appear. In other words, the Toads wouldn't have appeared in the Cosmic Race, and the Space Junk section at the end is never visited either." End quote. So there's a few interesting things about this race that Aurum also points out. For one, Cosmic Mario periodically stops. He isn't always moving during the race. And 2, there is no associated data in regards to Luigi with this race. So that means that this race was probably cut earlier on in development before Luigi was added to the mix. Aurum's personal assumption is that the race is too linear, and there are not too many options for getting to the goal. On the flip side, he also mentioned that another reason could be the fact that pole stars are very easy to abuse, yielding in crazy speed boosts which could have just broken the entire challenge. It's definitely really interesting to ponder about why this 5th race was cut, but let's take a look at the actual race from start to finish, so we can see what was lost to time. We'll be using a semi-fixed version of the race that was compiled back in 2015 to do so. Replacing the existing Comet Speedrun Challenge, we land on a floating platform and square off against our cosmic adversary. This layout probably looks familiar, as it should. We race across some pole star paths to the 3 orb planets. We then take the launch star at the end of these 3 orbs, which sends us flying through space. Mario then eventually lands on the rocket ship. At the tip of the rocket ship is 3 pole star planets, which then lead to the home stretch, a 2D area that feels like a tunnel that wraps around at the end. We end the run on the T-shaped planet, with the star centered on the top platform. Now, rewinding a bit, I went through and recorded Cosmic Mario's movements in slow motion, so you can see how he guides himself through these areas. His movements are actually a bit strange, and as mentioned earlier, on several occasions Cosmic Mario will just stop moving entirely. Even with these pauses, this run is still fairly difficult compared to normal challenges, at least in my opinion. It seems if you make one error that it is hard to make up lost ground on Cosmic Mario. An above average player can probably clear it fairly quickly, but I wonder if this was scrapped due to the inconsistency of using pole stars in rapid succession. The speedrun version of this path in the final game gives you a ton of time, whereas even with Cosmic Mario taking breaks from moving, this scrapped route is still challenging. But truthfully, we don't really know why this was removed. I'll always love Space Junk Galaxy for its desolation and haunting music, but knowing that I got to experience something new and hidden in this vast level was quite the treat. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the scrapped race, and if you did, consider heading over to Aurum's channel to check out all sorts of other cool Mario Galaxy oddities. This wouldn't have been possible without him. Thanks for watching, and cheers.